Hi there, I'm professional psychic and astrologer Karen Marie, and this is Psyched Up for Sunday, April 18th, 2021. I've been waiting for the quiet. I'm recording this early evening instead of last thing in the day, but there's a helicopter that's been circling my pad for 20 minutes. I guess they're looking for someone. It isn't me, so I apologize if you can hear that background noise on the video because I'm not going to let it stop. I was waiting for it to go away, but it just keeps circling nearby. So that's that. What can I do? I can't control it. So I'm going to start today with the transits for the week, and then I'm going to do mini one card readings for all 12 signs, and I will put the timestamp under the video eventually. If you watch this sooner rather than later, I might not have them up yet, but I will get them on by tomorrow at the latest for sure. All right, so as I record this at just after 5 p.m. in Austin, Texas on Sunday, the sun is at 29 degrees of Aries. Is probably what some of this revved up energy is. 29 degrees of Aries. Aries is ruled by Mars, and Mars is the god of war. And so I've been really noticing how planets moving through Aries, and particularly when they get to these last degrees, really stirs up the pissy. When Mars was at this degree, it was that's when we had the riot on the Capitol on January 6th. It was at 29 degrees Aries when that happened. Right now, we've got the sun at 29 degrees, and we have Mercury right behind it at 28 degrees. So they're conjunct. They actually were at the same degree earlier today when the sun was at 28, and tomorrow on Monday, Mercury will come up and join it. So this is like the sun, which illuminates things, and it's our heart, and then Mercury controls our head, our mind, our thinking. So there's just a big blast of energy around. This can be verbal explosions, people going off on each other, people going off internally because their mind is just being blown right now. It's very intensive. And we have Mars is at the last degrees of Gemini. It's at 27 degrees. So Aries is ruled by Mars. Mars is in this latter degrees of Gemini. Gemini is the twins, which is ruled by Mercury, which is on these last degrees of Aries. We kind of follow this bouncing ball. There's this relationship going on between the planets that have been in Aries and the planets that are in Gemini right now. Gemini is the twins, it's ruled by Mercury. It's also rules the head and communication and our thinking, and it rules the media, right? So there's all this media energy and things, probably two different stories going out, all blasting out over everything. And it's made it kind of jitsy. I've noticed like it's been harder for me to meditate this week and get quiet in my mind. I'm an Aries, which is ruled by Mars, which is in these last degrees of Gemini. So you know, it's hitting me extra strong, but I'm curious to know if anybody else just feels like it's been hard to focus this week because of Mercury being in the last degrees of Aries and Mars being in the last degrees of Gemini. It's just really, we also have Neptune, which has just come to 22 degrees of Pisces. It's been hanging out at 21 degrees. It's just changed degree. 22 is I feel, and I feel some more. Neptune is one of the most the Neptune and the Moon are the most psychic planets. And so when Neptune, the psychic radar planet, is a very spiritual, very psychic. It's in Pisces, which is a very spiritual, psychic placement. It's a slow moving planet, so it's taking its time moving through this placement, but it's the breakdown, breakthrough energy. We can have sudden aha realizations, download spiritually, psychically, in our dreams. We can just pick up on extra charged information right now. And Jupiter is also in the last degrees. It's in the last degrees of Aquarius. Jupiter expands things. So the last degrees are the last decan of a sign is really about the future, depending on what take of it the sign is in. With that helicopter, I don't know if you can hear it, but it's like they're looking for somebody nearby. I hope they don't come here. That's all I know. whoever they're searching for better not come to my house. Pluto is in its last degrees of Capricorn. So we've got all these planets like in later degrees. So the first decan from 0 to 9 degrees of any sign is more about personal stuff, more about the self. For example, Venus right now is at 5 degrees of Taurus. So Venus, what we love, who we love, how we receive energy is in the early degrees of Taurus, which is really about how we receive energies personally. When it moves from 10 to 19 degrees, it's about how we interact with the world around us. And then 20 to 29 degrees is the future, right? So Pluto is death and transformation. What are we transforming on this planet that's going to be changing our future? Jupiter is in Aquarius. It's the vibe. What are we expanding on the planet that's about us all vibing together? And how will we be vibing together into the future? Neptune, later degrees of Pisces, like what's our spiritual future? What's our psychic future about? Mercury in the last degrees. What are we going to, how is our communication going to be in the future? Mars in the last degrees, of Gemini, like, are we all going to do this together? Are we going to get on the same page? Are we going to keep arguing back and forth between the Jekyll and the Hyde, between the twins that can't get along? Where do we put our energies? Do we do this? Do we do that? What energies are going to be the best for our future? So there's a lot of future tripping going on right now. I'm going to suffice it to say with the planetary stuff. The nodes are at 11 degrees. The North node's at 11 degrees of Gemini. The South node's at 11 degrees of Sag. 11 is the degree of integrity. It's like, I love and I love some more. I got to hold myself in integrity. I think because of Mars being in Gemini and the North Node being in Gemini, we've been feeling this Mercury retrograde kind of energy. Like a lot of people have been asking me, is Mercury retrograde? It's like, no, it's the North Node and Mars being in Gemini, which is ruled by Mercury. It feels very mercurial, very up in the head. But right now, it's going to be holding at 11 degrees for the rest of this month. So it's really about getting integrity in our thinking. What do we think to be true? And the South Node's about belief system and what we're letting go. What do we believe to be true? What do we think is true? What do we believe to be true? And we may be altering or letting go of things that we used to believe or adapting new beliefs. The South Node is about releasing. And Pluto, I talked about this at length last week, so you can look back on that if you didn't catch it. Pluto, we're going through a Pluto return here in America. So the United States Pluto is at 27 degrees of Capricorn. Right now, the transiting Pluto is at 26 degrees of Pluto. And so it's 1 degree off. It will become, it actually will go retrograde next week. And so we're feeling the lead up to Pluto retrograde. And since this is a slow moving outer planet, we feel the buildup around this. So what is this? Capricorn, Pluto and Capricorn is about power and control issues. Who has power and control over you in your life? Is it a parent? Is it a government thing? Is it a boss? What power and control issues are up? Wherever you have that in your life, you're not the only one. We're all going through a challenge of power and control. The United States will have this be exact next year, 2022. So there'll be this reckoning of the power and control issues that were at play when we formed our nation, which was male patriarchal rule, women, minorities, children, no power. We're transforming that as I see it. So challenging these paradigms is what's been coming up. So Pluto stations to go retrograde next week, not this coming week, but the following week, where do I have my notes? On Wednesday, the 28th, which is right after the full moon on the 27th. So that should be super intensive, powerful times. That last week in April, and then the sun is also conjunct Uranus on the 30th. So we should go out of April with kind of a doozy pow. This week is also very volatile as I see it. right now the moon is in Cancer. When the moon is in Cancer, we all can feel very emotional and be in touch with our feelings at a great degree. The sun and Mercury, these last degrees of Aries, again, it can make people verbally volatile, mentally volatile, just like fiery, fiery. Aries energy is the initiating spark. It's a cardinal sign. It's the first sign of the zodiac. So when the sun or any planets are in Aries, it really adopts these Aries principles where impulsiveness and fieriness and Aries can go off without thinking. They can be very impulsive. Whereas Taurus, the energy that Venus has just moved recently into as of this past week, and the Sun and Mercury will be moving into by Tuesday. Both the Sun and Mercury are moving into Taurus. Very different energy, and you may feel this shift. You may feel kind of wiggy and stirred up today and tomorrow and Monday, especially with the moon in Cancer. And then Tuesday, with both planets, the Sun and Mercury being at zero, zero is about holding space for, it's about setting boundaries. The Taurus energy is very much a different energy for an Aries. Tauruses are very slow moving, methodical. Aries is a masculine energy, war. Taurus is ruled by Venus, and it's very feminine and very sweet and artistic and creative. And so with the Sun and Venus and Mercury all tipping into Taurus, there's going to be a very different energy going down, but the change may feel weird and wonky, especially with the moon being in Cancer over these next 2 days, and the Sun and the Mercury both hold, having this 0 degree, which is like, wait, what? Holding space for. So there could be just pissy, out of nowhere, unexpected things going on Monday. And we've got the backdrop of Uranus and Taurus and squaring Saturn in Aquarius. So there can be sudden unexpected things all year long because Uranus is really activated with this. With Jupiter at the last degrees of Aquarius, which is ruled by Uranus, it can emphasize the sudden unexpected things. If you know an Aquarian, you probably know that if you get surprising news, is it really a surprise when it comes from an Aquarian? Like, aren't you used to the Aquarian loved one doing things outside the box and unexpectedly? So the planets are kind of behaving in this Aquarian way, especially with Neptune, which is usually this, let's check out, let's vibe out. On the high end, it's like picking up cool astro vibes, spiritual vibes. And then the low end of Neptune in Pisces is a very like delusional and let's trip and let's get caught up in our addictive self. Let's just check out of here. So at 22, and it's going to be hanging out at 22, until the end of May. So Neptune has just changed degrees and it's going to be hanging at this new degree. So I really think that over this next month, if you've got addictive issues, that they're going to come to a head, right? Which I think most of humanity does have addictive issues. It's just how that shows up. Does it show up in your addiction to food or drugs or alcohol or sex or compulsive behavior, spending too much money or being OCD about how things are placed, sex and love addiction. Whatever the addictive thing is, I just feel that kind of stuff coming to a head, especially with the change of signs into Taurus. Now, Taurus represents how we value ourselves. It's the second house in a zodiac sign. And so it's where we store things. It's how we feed our bodies. It's the earth we stand on. It's a very quiet, it can be shy and guarded. So again, with this moving from this Aries, rev it up, let's get it going, and brouhaha, let's go to war, to Taurus is like, let's be peaceful, let's chill out, let's do gently into this, right? What's interesting is that these planets are all going to be approaching Uranus. Uranus is a very spiritual planet. It's been parked in Taurus for a couple years. It's going to bump up. It's on the last degrees of the 9 degree. It's going to move up to 10, and we'll be sitting at 10 degrees this whole next week. And then we'll have Venus will conjunct Uranus on Thursday, and then we'll have Mercury conjunct Uranus by this next weekend. So Uranus is sudden unexpected things. It shakes things up. it always throws curveballs. You can't predict how Uranus impacts something. And so we've got all this Uranus energy. It's a 4 and it's the breakdown breakthrough. So Neptune hanging at 22, which makes to a 4, is breaking down, breaking through. We got Pluto, which is death and transformation, slowing to turn retrograde, which is when it's most potent self, bringing out the power and control issues in everybody's life going on. Jupiter in the last degrees of Aquarius, expanding this energy. So we can expect, with Venus approaching Uranus, sudden unexpected things on the love relationship front going on. It's already conjunct 5 degrees. Uranus is 10. It's a loose, anything within 7-degree orb is considered conjunct. And then the closer planets get with each other, the more it activates, the stronger the emphasis is. So we already have Venus on approach to Aquarius. So this is, and again, I mean, not Aquarius, Uranus, which rules Aquarius. So Thursday, that comes to a head. And like, again, we feel transits beforehand, we feel them after a hand. It's not always on the day something's exact that we'll have something that's earth shattering. But this is a wiggy week. Let me just say, this is the week to up your spiritual practices. You can have some amazing aha realizations with Neptune hanging out at 22. Like, wow, like revealing dreams and psychic spiritual downloads, and taking everything into spirit is what I recommend. Like, whether that's just deep breath work, taking a walk out in nature, doing meditation, doing chanting. This is the week to up your spiritual practice. Otherwise, you might get thrown off by what's going on out there in the world, because it could be cray cray. And then with the moon and Mercury moving into the early degrees of Taurus, it goes from pissy all riled up to like, whoa, let me chill, let me just get with myself. You may want to cancel appointments this early week. Tuesday, Wednesday, you might just want to wait. Let me just get with myself here. What do I feel? What do I how do I value myself? Is this something I want to put my energy into? I don't know. Let me see if this is, especially with Mars being in these last degrees of Gemini. Mars goes into Cancer on Friday. So it will move into this feeling place. It'll go from hyper media thinking into the feeling. It'll be moving deep into feelings, where the moon already is. So you may already be getting your feel on right now. And then when Mars moves in there, I think it'll feel easier with Mars moving into Cancer and these other planets moving into Taurus. There's going to be a more chill energy, I'm hoping. But with the Uranus in the mix in several different places, there can be sudden unexpected curveballs coming out of anywhere, really. It's so ground yourself in spirit. Do not get attached to the things of this world this week. Really, that's good advice any week, but this week in particular. Black Lilith, which represents our fears, is going to move to 20 degrees of Taurus this week. So it's going to have that 0, or like hanging Chad, where we're like holding space for our fears. Like, oh no. Uranus moves to 10. So it's going to be 10 is like the manifesting degree. So it can shake up things and bring about what you've been looking for, but it may be a surprise attack. Most definitely will be surprises this week in some form, faction in your life, whether it's on the news media. Like, I can't believe that happened. Like earlier today, there was a shooting here in Austin. 3 people are dead that were awake and alive this morning. These mass shootings just seem to be going off more and more frequently. I really feel like the Aries Pluto, which I also talked about last week, square off in the skies, is a lot of that's responsible for that. But when these planets are in the last degrees of Aries, I think it's just adding fuel to the fire, throwing gasoline on an already lit fire. So if anybody has not worked through their anger issues, which Mars can represent, then the sun being there, Mercury being there, Venus being there, whatever planet's there kind of adds extra emphasis. So things should cool off with that kind of energy by Tuesday. dust can start settling in terms of moving into Taurus. It may feel more creature comfort, but you may want to be, Taurus loves their clothes and their food. You may find you go diving into food, or you just want to stay in your pajamas all day just to like batten down the hatches and protect self. Venus conjunct Uranus on Thursday. Venus is about who we love, what we love. So we may find sudden unexpected things showing up in our relationships, even in it's how we receive energy. We could get sudden surprising news that's positive. It's not always negative. Like Uranus can knock things and be surprise curveballs in positive ways too. It's just usually disconcerting, even if it comes in positive ways. And Mars will be at the last degree of Gemini on that day. So I really predict, Monday, today, and tomorrow is going to be a volatile day. Thursday can be a volatile day. Again, we can feel these before and after as well. Mars going into Cancer is going to feel really weird. And then Mercury conjuncts Uranus on Saturday, right after Mars goes into Cancer. So there can be the media sudden unexpected things. If you blurt something crazy out of your mouth this week, either with Mercury in the last degrees of Aries, or when it is conjuncting Uranus by next weekend, there's all this volatility going on. It's just, you can blame it on the stars. Meditate, still yourself, calm yourself, quiet yourself. You're going to be in a much better place. Chiron is now at 10 degrees, the wounded healer. So anything that has a 0, whether it's 0, 10, or 20, it's going to have this needing to hold space for, and it can be wiggy. Like I have my rising at 0 degrees of Libra. So one of the things I've had to learn in this lifetime is how to set boundaries. I think whenever there's a 0, there's needing to set boundaries showing up. And so when we have all these zeros, Sun and Mercury moving into 0 Taurus this week, Mars moving into 0 Cancer this week, we have Black Lilith at 20, here's the 0, Uranus at 10, here's the 0, Chiron at 10, here's the 0. It's a lot about boundaries this week, setting boundaries for yourself, setting boundaries with others, setting boundaries around your time, what you will and you won't do, and then breathing deeply and often, centering yourself so that you're not tossed and churned by what's going on out in the world, and you can have some inner peace, inner stillness. That's what I would highly recommend. And you can have some huge reveals. I mean, anytime with your Neptune hanging out at 22 degrees for the next month, over a month until the May 29th, this can be the month of the great reveals, the spiritual ahas, the psychic, oh my God, I can't believe it, dreams being incredibly revolutionary. But I also feel like this is the next month of testing when it comes to addictive substances and addictive patterns. Like, are you going to get help? Go to a 12-step group for whatever it is that you're having trouble with, talk to people, right? Or is that going to be escalated? You're going to just go even more into your addictive nature. It can be, whoa, I'm done here. The sudden, so you could have some big reveals around those issues, the addiction issues in your life can really be like, okay, look, this is so cray cray. I have got to do something about it. Again, with that Neptune, you may get the answers. You may have the direction be super clear. I'm getting some goosebumpies with that. So if you're open to and needing and looking for spiritual solutions, psychic solutions, answers to your big questions, they can come in this week. Those can be disconcerting and unexpected too. Yeah, interesting week. Hold steady. What is integrity with yourself? Like, that's what the North Node 11 means to me. Like, where is your personal integrity? Are your actions, are your relationships, are what's going on with you and who and what you're interacting with, and integrity with yourself? Is this what your higher self wants for you and your life? Or is this what your ego or your drive or that fundamental darkness, the addictive energy wants in your life? We can get pulled into the drain this week. We can get pulled into a higher revelation this week. Watch it with power control issues. They're going to be revving up too into next week when Pluto stations to turn retrograde, and the full moon around it's going to bring out some intense energy. So you can feel the build up into that starting this week too. So breathe deeply and often. That's what I say about the transits this week. Okay, so now I'm going to start with, I'm just going to do a 1 card reading for each sign today. So do little quickies. I'll put an extra card if it's kind of a gnarly card. And again, I use the Osho Zen Tarot deck. It's a non-traditional tarot deck. And I channel, which means I have certain issues symbolizing what a lot of these cards, the cards can represent certain issues or symbolic things, but I'll go with what I'm channeled to talk about in the moment, what I believe they are at this moment. So that could change the meaning of a card. I call that a psychic override. In private sessions, if someone asks me a question, sometimes the cards, my guides will override what the question is and give them a different answer or point them in a different direction. Well, I get that. That's not the question to be asking. This is the question to be asking. Alrighty. Aries. Oh, the suppression card is going on. This is gnarly emotions coming to the surface. This is things you've repressed and suppressed. It's the suppression card. So it's issues that you may feel bogged down in this energy right now, stuff that you haven't addressed, tangled web of thoughts, feelings, emotions. It could be a mixture of other people's stuff, pressures on you, just things you're just trapped in chains and like, oh my God, like the situations that are out of your control is what's going on, Aries, for sure. And, Aries is squaring off with this Pluto energy in the charts. So the transformation and the power control. And I really feel like Aries, you guys are feeling it for sure. And it may be around finances, money control issues. The miser card comes up. So it's fear. Even some of this stuff you're tangled in may not be real. It may just be what you're fearing is going to happen, fearing what other people think, fearing that you won't have enough financial stuff, or that, I don't know, it just feels like it's a wall of crud. Okay, the good news is I had to pull 3 cards here. The healing card is coming up with Aries. There's an opportunity to heal some deep level stuff this week. You have to dive into it. If you avoid it and slide away, it feels like it could really get even worse and more gnarly. So take it into quiet time, take it into meditation, take it into your chanting, take it into journal writing, take it out into the woods and sit with it. What do you need for psychological healing, emotional healing, mental healing, soul healing? I really feel like water therapy is going to be great for Aries this week. If you can drink more water, get in the water, get in the tub, get in hot tubs, stand in the shower, go get by water. You're needing to just let some stuff go. Let some stuff bubble up and out, and know that whatever's going on right now in your world, it doesn't touch who you are as your soul. And that link, identifying with your soul, is what's important this week, Aries. So much for 1 card, huh? Okay, Taurus. And we're going to move into Taurus season for birthdays. My baby, my number 6 child, has a birthday this week on Friday. He'll be 18. So hard to believe for me as a mother of 6 that my baby's turning 18, but that's the story. My oldest is 34, so that's how long I've been doing this parenting train. And it's the playfulness card coming for Taurus. You guys are going to love all this energy moving to Taurus, your sign. It should really highlight your best gifts and qualities. This is the playfulness. This is about having fun, being joyful, being happy, having, just things feeling lighter and easier. When planets move into your sign, there's usually greater ease. And that's definitely your story. Even though Uranus is there and it could be shaking up your life, it feels like for Tauruses, it's really kind of unexpected positive things. Um, Definitely some celebrations going on if you've got a birthday early in this week. But it just feels like it's fun. It's lighthearted. The energy feels like it's for you, not against you. Whereas Aries kind of feels like you're up against the wall. The Taurus is. You should have an easier week than some of us with just being able to enjoy your life and being happy. I'm seeing this just joyful, happy energy, things to celebrate for the Tauruses. All right, Gemini. Y'all might get stirred up right now with Mars being at the last degree in your sign. Transformations going on with the Geminis. There's definitely, and I feel like it's really a transformation in your thinking, transformation in how you feel, transformation really on every level. There's a lot of shifting going on. You guys can really have some psychic reveals, transformational thinking, creative ideas that are just super, oh my God, I just got the greatest idea. But if you listen to your spirit, your higher self this week, you can get the downloads for everything that you need in your life. Like it just feels like whatever you need, ask, and you can get the answers this week, psychically, spiritually. A lot of times I like to just ask the universe, what do I feel guided to do? What's the best choice for me? And then see if you don't get several comfort. I always like, and show me 3 times because I'm a hard-headed Aries. So you can ask for the universe to show you direction and make it very loud and clear and to show you 3 times. For example, say you're deciding whether you should vacation in Florida, Montana, or California. I could go to all 3 places. Any one of them would be great. What's the best choice for my life? And then just sit back and see, do you see license plates from one of the 3 states? Do you see news clips for one of the, does someone bring up one of the states in conversation? You sit down at a menu and it's like Colorado's your choices or whatever. Montana, the Montana, whatever. That's just an example of how you can just throw it out there and ask for the universe to bring it back and show you. But I feel like answers should come in clearly this week for the Geminis. All right, Cancers. Got the moon in your sign. You guys probably are feeling some extra spiritual psychic downloads right now. And then when Mars moves into your sign later this week, you might have the energy to start putting action behind things that you hadn't had it before. If you've been on kind of a stall pattern and haven't been able to move forward, you may find things really shifting. Here's the traveling card for you, Cancer. So it can be symbolic, like a spiritual journey that you're on. You can start a new habit, a new routine that's going to take a while, a new food exercise plan that you're beginning. You may be planning literally a trip or planning to travel this week. You may be taking that trip, doing something this week, or you may be planning a trip this week. But there's definitely, you're thinking about your future, you're thinking about the direction you're headed, you're on the move, moving instead of staying stuck. There may have been this sort of stuck energy, trying to overthink right now, but I definitely feel like I'm getting, even though this is a picture of mountains, I'm getting waves. So there may be waves of information coming in. You may be going to an ocean. But I feel like information is coming in waves is what I'm hearing. So there may be different waves of reveals for you this week, Cancer, where you get, 3 different waves of information coming in that makes the future plans become clear. All right. let's see, Cancers, Leos are next. Okay, Leos, this is the morality card. So this feeling shut down, stuck, blocked, can't get what you want to, can't get enough. There may be not enough intimacy going on. You may be literally in dealing with legal or jail. Someone you may know may be in jail, or you may be dealing with legal things, or feeling like you're on a lockdown. Finances are on lockdown. You're just on a lockdown physically, emotionally, spiritually, something where you're feeling blocked and stuck, and it feels intensive this week, Leo. I feel like it's temporary. It's not going to be permanent. The We Are the World card is the next card, which is like anything is possible. So I feel like it's pulling your thinking out of like going down the rabbit hole and into anything is possible. I'm an abundantly blessed individual. I have lots of choices. I'm never up against the wall. There's always more choices. That kind of a deal. And I definitely feel like y'all are dealing with this power and control stuff pretty intensely. You know, the sun rules the Leo, and the sun is in this last degrees of Aries, so that can be that intensive sort of warring feeling and just trying to keep yourself from exploding at someone or having your negative things come up. I feel like you have a big shift from the beginning of this week to the end of the week. The beginning of the week can feel like, oh my God, I need to watch my words, I'm on lockdown, whatever. And then by the end of the week, you're feeling like, okay, anything's possible. Like, you know, it's a huge, it feels very manic, but positive. Like this potential that you're moving into feels like it can go on and on and on. Whereas this lockdown energy feels like it's just temporary. It's just a day or two. There's something that's on, you have to like sort of push through. And then there's a rebirth kind of energy going on for you guys this week, Leo. All right, Virgos. The awareness card, Virgo. So this is definitely having an aha, a realization. You see clearly when things were dark. Now you can see there's a great reveal. Breaking out of where you've limited yourself, breaking out of the shadows and into the light. It feels like a breath of fresh air. You may be literally going somewhere in a higher elevation where you can breathe easier. I'm also seeing a fire element. So you may be sitting around a campfire or burning candles. It's an inspired energy. You may want to write, create. Whenever you have this aha, there may be writing or creative energy, or just like all this like chain of events that comes away. But this is like bigger than your mind just thinking. Like Virgos are ruled by Mercury, so you can get caught up in your thoughts. This is like a spiritual thing where you're like, ooh, okay, it so overrides your thoughts that you just go, yes, please come sit down, come sit at the table with me. You know, there's just, it's a huge reveal that's coming from spirit this week, Virgos. So if you're open to it, I'd be interested to hear what this big reveal is, because it feels super powerful and new. There's something really new about it. Something you may have not thought of before, a new component coming in, something like that. All right, Libras. Postponement is coming on for Libras. This is feeling stuck, feeling on hold. It can be a bit of depression going on where you just can't get your luster up. See this person sitting here in gray or black and white, whereas the picture here they're not even looking at is in color. So it can be like a chemical imbalance kind of thing. You may have been drinking, eating, doing something that put you in dis-ease with yourself. You could have even just like gotten a shot or vaccine and you're just feeling kind of funky. Again, it feels like temporary. It doesn't feel like deep-seated. You'll always be feeling like this. But I do feel like the antidote this week, Libra, is to get creative. Like if you can get into the gardening, if you can pick up your instruments and play, you can pick up the adult coloring book and color. There's something about being creative that can kind of ease your way through this sort of stuck, depressed time. Also pay attention to, like, are you doing B vitamins? Are you doing flaxseed oil? Are you doing things for brain chemistry? Because things may be off. If you've been eating a lot of crap, then you may be having the ramification of eating like crap. Let's see what else. The success card is the next card. So again, it could go from intense times and feeling like it could even be feeling like someone else has made you feel bad about yourself. Someone else has said or done something that leaves you with a bad taste in your mouth or leaves you feeling bad about yourself. The success card is like just getting your stuff in order and like getting some movement going on, doing something that you feel good about, feeling empowered in your life instead of disempowered. So you too, Libras, are going from an intense time at the beginning of the week until like a celebratory time by the end of the week. So, you know, the good news is this funky postponement kind of feeling doesn't seem to last too long. It does feel like you get your feet up underneath you and you know how to take action. You know how to do things that feel good. You're like plugging into your tool bag is what it feels like, instead of just feeling stuck. All right, Scorpios. This is the dream card, Scorpios. So this card depicts this person that's sitting here, right? They're fantasizing about this fabulous relationship. So this comes up very often in relationships when people are in relationship with the potential of someone else. Like, oh, I can see they're such a wonderful person. They have so much to offer. They have so much talent. The problem is the reality of what you're experiencing is not this highest potential. You're experiencing this girl sitting here by herself thinking about how wonderful this relationship is. So Scorpios, you may find that you're in a relationship where you are seeing, as super psychic Scorpios, the other person's potential, but that's not what you're experiencing. So I want you to do a reality check in with yourself. Are you doing what a lot of healers make the mistake of doing? And that is locking into someone's potential rather than what they're actually doing right now. Like if you're locked into someone who has the potential and you feel like it's somehow your job to inspire them or get them to fulfill their highest potential, that can be a huge trap, because healers will do that. Healers will draw in the wounded that they feel like they can help. The problem is that's not supposed to be partners. Those are clients or children. Like if it's your job to help a child, that's a different thing. But if it's in a partnership and you feel like you can help that person be a better person, that's a trap. Watch out for that trap. I see that so frequently with healers that they just are drawn to want to help. So, but again, if it's someone that's not already presenting as how you want them to be, that can be a client, not a partner, right? The courage card is the additional card for you guys, Scorpio. This is the courage to step out of the box, bloom where you're planted, go after what you know is beautiful and good about yourself, start something new. You know, even if you're the only one doing it, like it's really sort of a bloom by yourself kind of energy. Like if you're hoping to have this person or this thing do it with you, you may be having to initiate and do it all on your own this week, but you're going to feel great if you do that. Like if you're waiting for someone else, you could really feel like you're on the hook and you don't have any power. Whereas if you're initiating it yourself this week, Scorpio, you can have great sense of accomplishment and that new seeds have been planted, new beginnings are happening. So have the courage to go after what you want by yourself if you have to. All righty, Sagittarius. Thankfully, the helicopter has stopped. The healing card is coming up for Sagittarius. So you may need to go get some hands-on healing. This week may be the week to put yourself in the hands of a massage therapist, an acupuncturist, a Reiki master, a chiropractor, a doctor. Like, this may be the week to go get that healing that you've been putting off getting. It can be just to spend time nurturing yourself, saying no to social obligations, and just taking care of you, soaking in the tub. I'm getting a water piece here, very important for the Sages, to calm the spirit, to calm the soul, just to be like soothe this. There could be a very strong creative vibe coming up. Like, be gentle with yourself this week. And if you can put yourself in the hands of healers, this is a great week to do that. It feels like you need a little TLC coming from outside yourself this week, Sages. Accept that from the universe. If someone wants to offer to give you a massage or foot rub or whatever, say yes. Like, definitely. It just feels like you need a little bit of sweetness, a little bit of TLC. If you need to take a mental health day this week and just take some time off just to sort through feelings and just to be with you, it's good. Just, you are important, right? Your needs are important. If you're feeling off mentally, emotionally, spiritually, give yourself a day, 2, 3, give yourself the week even, to like just get back on track and get good with you, and let yourself be guided into actions and not overthink too much. Just really let it flow. That's Sag. Capricorn, you're next. You guys may really be feeling this Pluto energy in your sign. The death and transformation, power, control issues may be really showing up strong for y'all, especially, like I said, as Pluto slowing down to stop and turn retrograde next week. You may be feeling this like on the verge of something intensive and up against the wall, and having your crap come out this week is kind of what I'm getting. Here's the Creator card, Capricorns. This is you manifesting what you want, but this is like holding it within yourself, not trying to bulldoze over other people, but just knowing that if you hold the intention for what you want to manifest in your life and align with that, you can make it happen. You guys are manifestors anyway. Capricorns can get her done. A lot of times you can bowl over people or boss people around on the way. This is about you with you this week. I'm getting the Creator card is like, you can manifest what, of course, you guys really usually have pretty good self-esteem, but this isn't about ego. This is about spiritual control. This is about manifesting from a creative center. This is about getting aligned with higher self and manifesting what you want in your life and getting clear. You may be making a vision board or a treasure map or writing down what you're wanting to get clear this week. It's like, what do I have the power and control over? And what do I not have power and control over? Who has the power and control? You want to get in there and do it. If you're in a tug of war, drop your end of the rope and just go into spiritual practice and find what cream rises to the top. What is revealed to you this week? What can you control? What can you not control? That this can be a powerful week of getting clear and initiating something, making something happen that you've always wanted. Like, it feels like dreams can come true this week, or at least you feel like you're on the way to making dreams come true this week, Capricorns. Aquariuses. You guys may totally be activated with all this Aquarian energy that's going on with the planets that I spoke about earlier in the video. It is, you may feel like your fire gets lit. There can be an explosive energy. It could be something happens that forces you guys into action. Here's the politics card. Politician is someone who shows you two different faces, neither one of which are who they really are. So this is up against people that maybe be liars. It can be up against sort of it's the Gemini energy, the Jekyll Hyde. You may be finding that within yourself. Like, are you not telling the truth to yourself? Are you in a illusion? Are you caught up in addiction with yourself and you're in denial about it? That may come to a head this week for the Aquariuses. If you're in a toxic situation, it's someone else that's creating the toxicity. Pay attention. If your gut is like, or there's a bad taste in your mouth, like look at that. Your system is trying to show you something. There may literally be something going on with your intestinal tract, Aquarius. It could be something you're eating or ingesting that's not sitting right with your system, in which case pay attention, honor yourself, nurture yourself, step away from toxic people, step away from toxic substances, Aquarians. The slowing down card is coming with that. So it's just like, okay, if there's I feel like you guys may be going through a detox. You may be coming up to like the rubber meets the road kind of energy. You may be butting heads with someone. It just feels like, okay, wait a minute. I need to go get direction. I need to slow down. I need to let go of these substances, people, things, toxic things in your life, and just like, what do I need? What do I need? What do I need? I need to go for a walk every day. I need to drink more water. I need to like get my butt into 12-step group. I need to like, what do you need right now? Assess what you need for support. You guys may be making a big shift, big transformation. Again, something can just come in and slap you upside the head to knock you off your thing, but it's rerouting you to try to get you on the right path. If you're on the wrong path right now, Aquarians, you may definitely have life come in and kind of going whoop to show you how to get on a better path. And it may take you a minute to figure out what is the better path. It's okay to move slowly this week. It's okay to not have it all figured out, but just to have an idea of which issues need to be addressed. Maybe you're not even ready to address them. Now you're just starting to have the reveals coming in. You're like, oh my goodness. At some point here in the near future, you're going to have a big shift, probably by next week with this Pluto stationing to go retrograde and the full moon energy. Whatever's being revealed this week, you may be letting go of, shifting and changing by next week. So you may need some time to get used to that idea before you actually let something go, someone go, some situation go. But be open to reveals this week, Aquarius. All right, and then we'll do the Pisces. Here comes the sun. Okay, you've got the Neptune in your sign, and so there can be a huge just anointing of spirit. This is the source showing up in your life. This, like, you of all the signs should expect for a great reveal psychically, spiritually this week, just like the universe speaking to you, like Moses in the burning bush kind of thing. There's like the 10 commandments being leveled, like there's like a huge reveal to you spiritually this week. This would definitely be the week to do spiritual retreat, spiritual, like giving extra time to spiritual practices. If you've never done a spiritual practice, initiate that this week. Most Pisces are already kind of geared in that way, sort of innately spiritual, but I would want you to put some time and energy and attention into that. It's kind of like, you're going to get 10 times the return for your investment. You spend 10 minutes meditating, it's going to be like meditating for, 100 hours. It's just really, really a powerful week on a spiritual level for the Pisces this week. Great insights and downloads happening this week. If you carve out the space and be open for it, I think it may just be coming out of nowhere too. You maybe find you're at the grocery store and all of a sudden have a reveal. You'll be sleeping, having a reveal, daydreaming reveal, like chopping vegetables in your kitchen reveal. Like it feels like it's really, I don't see how you would mistake having some spiritual psychic insights this week, Pisces. It feels very strong. All right, so that is all 12 signs. It's the transits for this week. Again, if you'd like to contact me for a private session, I'm going to put the links to my website and my email below this video, but my website is psychedupmovement.com. And my email is bringoutthebuddha@gmail.com, and Buddha is spelled Buddha. Bring out the, all spelled out, Buddha all together @gmail.com. That's my email. How you can contact me. There's also contact through my website if you want to get a reading, a rebirthing session, past life regression, house clearing, psychic development work, all that I can help you with, and I would be happy to do for you. So thank you for your long attention. If you're still with me and if you watched this whole video, I appreciate your likes, your comments, your shares, subscribing to my YouTube channel. I also have a new Psyched Up page on Facebook. So if you haven't already liked it, look for that. Psyched-up. You'll see a picture of moi like that. Become part of my psychic community there on Facebook. So thank you so much. Peace.